The 24th of November, 2009, 11:45 a.m., Utah, United States. Deep beneath the rocky landscape of Utah was a place that looked like an ordinary cave from the outside, but inside, it was a maze of darkness, narrow tunnels, and hidden dangers. This place was known as Nutty Putty Cave. A cave that had attracted adventure seekers for years was about to become the center of one of the most heartbreaking rescue operations in history. On that day, John Edward Jones, a medical student from the United States, entered the cave with his brother and friends. For John, it was supposed to be a simple adventure and a memorable experience with his family. He had always been curious about exploring new places, and the underground world of Nutty Putty Cave seemed like another exciting challenge. But no one knew that this journey would soon turn into a life-and-death struggle. Inside the cave, the passages became smaller and darker with every step. Some areas were so narrow that a person had to crawl and squeeze through the rocks. John was searching for a famous section of the cave known as the Birth Canal. In the darkness and confusion of the underground tunnels, he entered the wrong passage, believing it was the route he was looking for. As he moved deeper, the walls around him became tighter. Within moments, John found himself trapped inside a tiny opening. His body was stuck upside down, with his head facing downward and his feet above him. The space was so narrow that he could not move backward or turn around. At first, it seemed like a difficult situation that could be solved with some effort. But soon, everyone realized this was something much more serious. A rescue call was made, and within a short time, emergency teams arrived at Nutty Putty Cave. Rescue workers entered the dangerous underground passage and began one of the most difficult operations they had ever faced. They used ropes, pulleys, and special equipment to try to bring John back to safety. More than 100 people became involved in the rescue mission. Every movement had to be carefully planned because the cave was extremely fragile and dangerous. The darkness, limited space, and difficult position made every second more challenging. John had been trapped upside down for many hours. Being in that position for such a long time put enormous pressure on his body. Blood circulation was affected, breathing became harder, and the situation continued to become more dangerous. The rescue team refused to give up. They created a special pulling system that they hoped would finally free him from the cave. After hours of preparation, the team attempted to move him out. For a brief moment, it seemed like the rescue might succeed, but the system failed. John slipped back into the same position, deeper inside the narrow passage. The hope of bringing him out alive slowly disappeared as time continued to pass. After nearly 27 hours trapped underground, John Edward Jones lost his life inside Nutty Putty Cave on the 25th of November 2009. The rescue team faced one final heartbreaking decision. Recovering his body was considered extremely dangerous, and after discussions with experts and his family, the area where John remained was permanently sealed. Nutty Putty Cave was closed forever. A place that once represented adventure and exploration became a symbol of human courage, tragedy, and the unpredictable power of nature. The story of John Edward Jones is not only about a tragic accident, it is also about the bravery of the rescuers who fought against time, darkness, and impossible conditions to save a life. Today, Nutty Putty Cave remains silent beneath the ground of Utah, holding the memory of a young man whose final journey became one of the most unforgettable underground rescue stories in the world. It reminds us that adventure requires courage, but it also demands respect, preparation, and awareness of the risks hidden in the unknown.